Dubai. Welcome back to the Lovin Dubai show, where we go through the top trending stories that everyone across the country is talking about. Today, we're going to be talking about friendship guilt, and Dubai's metro is set to double its stations by 2040.
As well, what is the most overrated travel destination? Dubai has its say.
We have a theme of delivery this morning. So our first story, a Dubai resident ordered food from a restaurant and gifted it to the delivery driver.
And are Dubai residents reducing deliveries during the summer?
We have the information on that. Also, how to open a bank account and set up businesses in the UAE.
It's 269 days since the genocide began on October 7 in Gaza. The current death toll stands at 37,900. The number of injured people is 87,060, and 1.9 million people have been displaced from their homes.
In today's weather, expect highs of 41 degrees Celsius. The highest temperature recorded over the country yesterday was 48.1 degrees Celsius. That was at 2:45 in the Al Dhafar region. I can confirm that, having sat out in the sun. I thought I was in the shade, and I am so burned. I don't know if you can see.
Oh my God.
I'm so pale.
Yes.
You can literally, like, there's this line, and I'm like, oh, why do I allow it to happen? So wear your sun cream, even if you're in the shade. I thought I was, but I obviously didn't wear enough.
Well, I do have slippers, tan lines. Because like I did wear like slippers and went out and walked outside, and then I have like tan lines. And
tan or
like
burn? There's a nice difference.
A tan.
Okay, jealous. This doesn't.
The thing is, like, it's not even
relate.
It's very funny. I had to like wear socks with my slippers every time I go out because it's embarrassing.
Can't relate. It's toasty out there, that is for sure. It's also toasty in our DMs and our WhatsApps, because I don't know about you, but this is quite common for me. Unresponded to messages from friends, from colleagues, from non-colleagues, but in the work environment. Do you feel that? Do you ever feel that guilt, that friendship guilt for not getting back to them?
I think, honestly, I don't, because I would expect them to understand that I'm not on my phone 24/7. And I'm probably either spending time with my family or spending time with myself and doing nothing.
Do you expect quick responses when you message people?
No. Do you?
No, I don't. Do you, how long is your kind of like fair amount of time to give a response? So if a friend gets in touch with you, say, for example, she sends like a 2-minute voice note. Do you check it immediately, or do you think a week is okay, or do you think 2 weeks is okay?
I mean, I honestly don't know, like, how long how long will it take me to reply to a 2-minute voice note? Because that's a lot. Why would you send me a 2-minute voice note? It's not like a podcast.
Are you not a voice note person?
No, I'm not.
I could literally show you, because all my friends are abroad. I've got anyone on comments here. Do you do voice notes? I've got like a 5-minute, a 7-minute, a 10-minute voice note, and you pop it on a Saturday. You listen, because all my friends are abroad. We don't have WhatsApp. We don't have calls, and I cannot do the VPN thing. So it's constant long voice notes, and every single time we all take ages to responding to each other, and it's like, oh, I'm so sorry, it's taking me so long. At the beginning of every single voice note, and it's pure guilt, because you want to be in touch with them. They're your best friends. I mean, but you can't be getting back to a 10-minute every single day. Literally, no.
And the thing is, even like if it's like a minute or more than a minute, I put it on speed 2, because I just want to get to the point. You know, I mean, I just don't like voice notes. I don't like texting. I'm not a texter. I am not a phone person. I don't like being on my phone at all. I hate it.
Let's screw the phone. Let's throw it away.
Yeah.
Let's just do people interaction only.
Literally. And then they go like, oh, Farah, you don't talk to me anymore. And I look at them like, I'm sorry, but I shouldn't apologize.
But do you go for coffees with them instead?
Yes. I mean, if you call me and you tell me like, hey, let's meet up, I will meet up.
You pick up the phone?
Yeah.
Oh.
I do. The thing is, like, I do, you know, I all the time do. And if there's a missed call, I do call back. I never not call back. However, I am not a texter.
Not a texter.
I don't even like the DMs thing. Like, it's like someone sends me like a lot of memes. It's like, which meme am I supposed to reply to?
Yeah, there's 2 types of people in this world. There's an etiquette, and it's like how there's like these secret rules for how you're meant to react, and it's all very difficult because we all follow our own rules. And one thing that's annoying to you is actually quite nice for me, pleasurable in fact.
Really?
And vice versa. So like, I don't like the phone calls. Don't like to pick them up. I'm okay with a meme. Can respond quite quickly. Would rather not do the coffees. Okay with the voice note rather than a coffee. You're more about the people. I'm more about the.
even like
away
with
from the
phone
people.
calls, even with phone calls, please don't make it long. Please don't talk don't talk a lot, because like I'm probably gonna be like, ugh,
You just want to see people in person. I think
literally,
that's what you
yeah.
want.
I'm more of like an in-person interaction.
Well, you know what's going to make that easier?
Sure, of course, the metro. The metro. So speaking of that, Dubai Metro will double its station by 2040. So Dubai Metro is about to level up, as Dubai has big plans to more than double its metro and tram stations by 2040 as part of a major public transport development drive. Right now, there are 64 stations operating over 84 square kilometers, but by 2030, the plan is to have 96 stations covering 140 square kilometers.
This supports Dubai's 20-minute city vision. The plan includes increasing public transport use to 45%. That means cars off the roads, which we can all appreciate. It also aims to reduce carbon emissions to 16 tons per capita.
As well, the proposed Blue Line will feature 14 stations, including 3 interchange points linking the red and green lines. It will traverse areas such as Marsak Dubai Creek, Festival City, International City, Al Rashidiyah, Al Warqa, Mardif, Silicon Oasis, Academic City, and of course, this expansion aims to accommodate 320,000 additional daily passengers, enhancing citywide connectivity and transit efficiency.
This is the news we have all been waiting for. We have basically a map of the new stations, how this will change the game for traffic in Dubai in the next 2 decades. And it will also mean the city is way more accessible for people. It will mean the city is essentially growing, because we can see the map that it's just spreading out further. It will mean property prices in those areas will become more interesting to people. So it's great news, and it means if you want to ditch the car, you've got more capacity to do that, because you can buy further out on the metro and get yourself off the roads.
I mean, honestly, I'm very excited because I do use the metro a lot, and that all is to avoid the traffic that's around my area. And it's very efficient. It really is, you know, and with the increase of the metro stations is very as well good for me, because there are a lot of stations that I would want to go to or places that I would want to go to, but there is not a specific metro station that I can go to. You know what I mean? Like, there isn't one specific metro, like, for example, like if I want to go to somewhere in Dubai Creek, I cannot have a metro station that's going to drop me at Dubai Creek Harbor. I will have to take the metro, go somewhere close, and then take a cab, which is kind of like a lot, and it's kind of like annoying. Like, why do I need to go through 2 ways of public transportation?
You want it to get a bit more efficient.
There, exactly. So this is honestly very good for everyone, for people like me, and for everyone really, because sometimes you just maybe wake up and be like, hey, I don't want to drive.
True, and a lot of people agree with you on the post. Nancy Latta said, thank you. The city continues to deliver outstanding results. However, some people are saying this means more crowds and inconvenience, and I have to disagree with you, Ace King 47. We are going to have more people living in the city, but the fact that the metro line is extending means that maybe there'll be less of a crush in the busy areas that you see now. It will mean that, because a lot of people want to ditch the car. A lot of people don't have cars, they're expensive, so you live on the metro line, and therefore all of the metro stations are so busy during peak hours. The city is aware of that, they acknowledge it, and that's why we're going to see it expanding, and therefore hopefully reduce crowds in those key crush areas, and also hopefully reduce cars on the roads. It's going to take time, but as always, we should have patience as we get to be the privileged ones to watch the city grow.
I'm very excited, honestly, for 2040 and 2030.
So, jumping into our next story, a story went viral. What is the most overrated travel destination? Now, Dubai has its say. A social media page posted the results of a Reddit question. So this was not a poll, it was not a survey, it was a question on Reddit. The question asked, what is the most overrated travel destination? 15,000 people voted Dubai. And this story itself, as you can imagine, gained headlines.
And as the title says, Dubai is the most overrated travel destination. Got shared, of course. Many came to defend the city when they saw the post. So we're going to run through a couple of our favorites.
Okay, so some of our favorite responses. Louis Miguel Rees, who said he has lived in Dubai for 25 years. He said it's an incredible, awesome city.
Christian Dale said, this is a little shady. He said, most haters are the ones who haven't been or the ones who cannot afford to go to Dubai.
So basically the people who haven't been here are the ones hating on the city. Akbar Khan said, not true. Dubai offers so many diverse choices and it's definitely worth it as a great holiday destination for all kinds of holiday seekers. Mohammed Imran said, well, whoever is saying bad about Dubai or the UAE, 100% sure they have never experienced the lifestyle, the safety, the hospitality of the city or the country. Without a doubt, I can say it's one of the best countries in the world. There you go. Dubai is Marmite. Absolutely. People love in the West, particularly to hate on this city. They love to hate on the country, but it's so great to see the defense of you, the people, always jumping in because only the people who've lived here can really be the ones to defend it for what it is.
I think, you know what, I think that it's very easy to hate on Dubai, but you have to be in it and live it and experience it to love it. You know, they are saying that based on what? Based on things that they maybe they're not used to. You know, it's very easy. Like if you live in a farm, it's very easy to hate the city life. If you have a city life, you know, it's very easy to hate on a farm. However, with Dubai and the things that they provide to its residents, to its citizens as well, it's, I think, honestly, one of the best cities ever.
Sure. And you know what? That's a good point that, like, it's not for everyone. So if you live in the countryside and your ideal holiday is a remote destination, you like to go hiking, Dubai may not be for you. However, I think the reason like this title, Dubai is overrated, gets so much attention. People love to hate on the city because the type of narratives that are sometimes presented by Western media don't reflect the city that it is.
Agreed.
So you'll see C-list celebs, D-list celebs from certain countries. They come on their holidays here. They party at certain clubs. And you think, okay, that's as someone who just reads one article and says, okay, that's the only thing I'm going to read about a city and I'm going to take that information and be like, that's all Dubai is.
Agreed,
it's fake bling, it's people partying, it's a fast lifestyle.
Yes.
However, the people that have come in to defend this post, like ourselves included, Nicola Farrell, she said, completely disagree. There are parks, beaches, old Dubai, souks, Museum of the Future, multiple theme parks, desert safaris, animal safari, global village. You know, there's so much to do here that people don't know. And Upside of Living said, we never lock our house. We can walk. You walk past unmanned kiosks in the mall that remain untouched. There's a cloudless days most day of the week, and the only overrated thing is the intelligence of some of its tourists. Burn.
I honestly agree with that because like it's very easy to hate, right? But if you guys are hating, it's because you guys don't know about Dubai, and it's not like a thing that you can judge based on a day or two or even a week. You know, you have to have the full experience to actually judge, right? You just cannot be like, yeah, you know what, I don't like it's overrated. But where have you been? Dubai Mall? Actually, where have you been?
Have you visited?
Exactly. It's like they've only gone to Dubai Mall, you know, things that are like but Dubai is way like deeper than that, and they just like avoid that.
Yeah, Dubai is deeper. Dubai's got soul. We'd love your comments. Obviously, our job, we work for Lovin Dubai, and we do get the privilege of sharing all of the positive stories of the city every day. But it is always great to see people who love the city jumping in on these posts and defending it for what it's worth.
Agreed. And I will forever defend Dubai.
As will I. Jumping into our next story, this got a lot of attention in the last few days.
So a Dubai resident ordered food from a restaurant and gifted it to the delivery rider. In a heartwarming display of kindness, a Dubai resident's simple act of generosity has touched hearts across the city. When placing an order with a local restaurant, the resident included a special delivery note that read as follows: "This food is for you. Enjoy your dinner," with a very cute smiley face. Now, the note was intended as a thoughtful gesture towards the delivery rider, showcasing gratitude for their hard work and dedication.
So, moved by this unexpected act of kindness, the restaurant owners were quick to share the story on their social media platforms. They highlighted how such small gestures can really brighten someone's day and make a significant impact within the community. The post quickly gained traction online, with many applauding the residents' compassion and generosity. And this serves as a reminder of the power of empathy and how a simple act of kindness can create positive ripples across the community.
Now, this touching incident not only reinforces the spirit of giving and appreciation, but also underscores the strong sense of community that thrives in Dubai. You know, it is moments like these that remind us of the importance of spreading joy and kindness, especially during challenging times. Which, by the way, it just like warms my heart, makes my heart very full, because it just reminds me how lucky we are to be in a country that's very multicultural, and everyone appreciates everyone, and everyone is very kind to everyone.
So true, so true. I think because most of us are expats,
Yes.
is it 90% expats live here? You have to make a little bit more of an effort. When you're in your home country and you're surrounded, and that's when things like racism can happen, because it's like us versus them, but whatever the magic sauce that has happened here that has never created that in the society, maybe it's because it's the minority majority of like minority is Emiratis, and they're so welcoming, and it's never created an us versus them, and it's very much like we all make an effort to live here, and we all make an effort with these community stories, and the giving back movements are always everyone getting together, and you'll see it on the Facebook groups of just small communities make such an effort. It feels like Dubai has done something so right in terms of being kind among the community, and I guess encouraging these types of acts of kindness.
That's true. And not only that, by the way, as well the fact that the residents, and no matter what you do, no matter where you're from, we do appreciate the delivery riders and their hard work, specifically during the summer, or actually even throughout all seasons of Dubai, but we do appreciate them, you know, whether it's giving them a tip. We've talked about tipping for so long, you know, and whether it's a tip, whether it's a smile, you know, and it's like these small acts of kindness really do change a lot, and they motivate the drivers to continue doing their job and pursuing their job.
Which does, in fact, bring us on to our next story. And we'd love your thoughts on this one, because it's a very mixed bag of opinions. So, are Dubai residents reducing deliveries this summer? So there was a post from a resident that suggested some people are ordering less during summer, and this topic began to trend, and the resulting conversation, it basically showed a mixed bag of your opinions.
So one social media post highlighted that residents are refraining from ordering online during peak heat so that delivery riders aren't working under the scorching sun. The post reads go as follows: I've noticed many delivery riders out in the scorching heat without shelter, which got me thinking, why should human lives be sacrificed to bring us necessities when we have the means to help ourselves? To contribute, I've committed to refraining from ordering online between 12 to 5 p.m. So let's show consideration for these hardworking individuals.
So this post went live. However, then we saw the resulting feedback. So while this community initiative appears to be gaining popularity, some people believe this will hinder riders' wages, and others suggest that this could negatively impact their income. So one user, Narjeez667, jumped into the post basically saying, I heard the post story and I asked a delivery driver for their opinion, and they said, I need my salary. And would genuinely be afraid that if this happened and people stopped ordering, then incomes would be affected, jobs would be affected. So I think you've got people who really care, and they're genuinely asking, what can we do to help drivers this summer? Because I think they're looking at someone coming to the door who's been outside in the heat, and you think, okay, if I was outside in the heat, I would not be coping. But then you look on the other side of the ticket that, like, obviously these people care for the humans, but they understand that if we all said, okay, we're not going to order between 12 and 5, then these people wouldn't get their income. So what is the answer?
I think, honestly, that people who go like, fine, I'm not going to order between 12 and 5, maybe can think in a way that they're doing good when they can be doing harm to the delivery riders. However, there are many multiple ways that they can be good to the delivery riders, such as a smile, such as a tip. And as well, as we have mentioned earlier with our news, is that they will be creating like rest stations for delivery riders, which we are hoping they will be operating it soon, inshallah. And this is like beautiful because it's not only the restaurants who are recognizing the effort of the delivery riders, but as well the country itself.
True, like we've talked about the things that we could do, which is put bottles outside your door.
Yes.
But the RTA did announce that by July this year, they're expecting 40 air-conditioned rest areas for delivery drivers. So although if as a community everyone decided to pull back on their orders, we are a delivery city. So it's not just your lunch that's getting to your door. Like there's a big ecosystem regarding deliveries in the city. We're a 20-minute city. You can have anything to your door, whether it's a document, something you forgot from your home, the clothes you order. We really rely on delivery in this city. So as people, what we can do, but if we look at the larger system surrounding it, the government is already answering that by introducing these rest areas. So making it very accessible for riders to be able to access rest areas, get water. There'll be a snack dispenser there, and basically a place to relax and wait while they wait for the next order. This is 40 by 2025, and all the areas where they're listed is on Lovin Dubai, an article written a little time ago. But also, let's expect that this to be a stepping stone to greater help for delivery drivers.
Agreed. And you guys as well, you know what, you can, as Casey has mentioned, maybe help in a way, like, as you said, like put some water bottles, smile on their face, tip.
I keep forgetting the water bottles. You know what's funny? Because we sit here and we talk about the good things that we can do, and I think it's always important that, like, when someone shares the story of like, this is what I've done, it's like it's a little like tick in your head. Okay, I can do that. And I've done water bottles lots before, but I just haven't remembered the season. And I keep this is my little. I write important
things. This is your reminder. This is your reminder, Casey.
I'm gonna write it down in my WhatsApp now so I don't forget water bottles. Okay. Reminders for the day, 8:52. That means it's time to jump in to our next segment. We're going to talk about how to open bank accounts, the challenges that surround them, and also how to set up businesses in the UAE with the experts who can help you do it. Decisive Zone. Welcome back to the Lovin Dubai show. Today's guests are Sahil Kumar and Salome Lewis. They're here to discuss how Decisive Zone is modernizing its banking system and also the challenges people are facing opening bank accounts. Also, we're going to touch on how to open businesses in the UAE. Welcome to the show. Thank you for being here.
Thanks for having us again.
Tuesday morning, experts back in the seat. Today we're talking bank accounts. Can we just jump right in? What are you guys doing to improve banking experiences for people in the UAE?
So currently, as you know, banking infrastructure has undergone massive changes in the recent years. So it is now more crucial than ever that while establishing your business, entrepreneurs get correct advice in terms of business activities and licensing jurisdictions, because the UAE is becoming more and more compliant with international KYC and compliance standards. I'll let Sahil continue.
Before I continue on, I want to give a shout out to our team. We're being invited to Baku, Azerbaijan. That's for the Management's Act from Millionaire Concept.
Cool.
So
what is that? That sounds fancy.
No, so it's a conference that we've been invited to. So shout out to the team. They're there receiving an award.
Congratulations, Decisive Zone.
Back to banking. As you know, we've been discussing over the weeks that a lot of businesses are being relocated here, and a lot of people are coming here and not just moving their existing business, but also starting a new one, right? So banking standards have to sort of keep up with that. So whether it's an SME or a small startup, or it's a large scale organization that's coming in, the UAE banking sector has been set up or is being sort of moved and pushed in a way where the entire standardization concept of banking itself has to be in the level playing field again. So that's why over the past decade, the banking system in the UAE has, overgone massive changes. And that's what we want to discuss today.
Can you break this down as simply as possible for me? So let's pretend I'm a business owner of a startup. For my new lipstick. And if I come to you, you're helping me set up the business. So you've got me on the business license front. Now, do I need to set up a separate bank account for my business, or can I just run it through my personal bank account?
No, you have to get a corporate bank account, because when you're receiving funds from international or local from your clients, it has to go through, because there's so many scams going on. So when it's a personal account, it's not registered to your trade license. You require a trade license, and then that trade license is linked to your corporate bank account.
So separate bank account for my business. And then if I'm doing that, could you guys run through maybe some of the challenges that I might expect and how you guys help to fix those?
I mean, it's a case of, it's not a challenge per se. It's just a case of, KYC, right? Because it's more important that when you set up a business and open a subsequent bank account after that, because now that the tax regulation is coming into play, so that bank account plays a major role as well, right? So how we sort of facilitate opening bank accounts is we do a pre-flight check when a client gets on board. We have a list of documents where we do a sort of in-house KYC with clients and make sure that we find them the right solution that would fit their sort of banking needs, whether it may be, a small business that's looking forward to receiving funds, more international transfers, or it's a large scale business that does need, a higher turnover volume, etc. So we do an in-house check, and then we sort of recommend and, push it in the right direction of what the client would suit best.
What are the common questions people might have for you as they go into this kind of setting up a bank account with you? Is there kind of things that you'll get commonly asked?
How quick it would be. And that is something that people need to understand, because again, since we're matching international KYC standards, there are a lot of compliance checks that are going to go through. So depending on the correct documents you provide, like say financial statements, whatever the bank requires, that's the quickest it will be.
And why should I go with Decisive Zone rather than going directly to my bank?
Because that's where the speed comes into play, right? Because it's obviously a free for all, right? Anyone can set up a business and then they can walk into a bank with paperwork, because once we do set up the license, in essence, they have every document that is required to open a bank account on paper. But there are also some, there may be some confusion as to maybe they're looking, like I said, they're looking for higher turnover, but they might go into an online, facilitation in a banking sense, which may not suit their requirements, and then that causes another delay, and then it's a sort of snowball effect from there. So the reason we recommend business, people, individuals who are setting up businesses with us, that's the reason why we recommend them that let us just do a sort of pre-flight check, just so it's a case of one and done, right? Rather than applying, then reapplying, and then et cetera from that point on.
So during the pre-flight check, we do like to talk about red flags on the show. It could be about relationships or about businesses. It's all fun.
Yeah, I wouldn't know about that.
No, it's all good. It's all green flags on that front. But
wearing the colors.
as the red flag, is there any business red flag banking setups that you guys would kind of watch out for as someone comes to you and say, this is a red flag, we can help you? Or is there any kind of highlights or, I guess, fine print that you would look out for that you need to let us know about?
We would actually, while going through the documentation that a client provides us, there are a certain list of activities and certain list of nationalities, designated areas that are sort of more well-versed, sort of easier to get a bank account versus a bit more sort of time-consuming. Things like the crypto sector now, because it's just being started up, right? So for us, in order to get a bank account for clients for that sort of activity, it does require a bit more homework from our side, but then that's where we sort of work well amongst the lines and figure things out. Yeah.
And why is it important for banks to follow rules in terms of FATCA? And if you can kind of clarify a bit more on what that means for the audience.
Well, basically, UAE is now registered for both FATCA and CRS. So it's a federal law by the US to combat tax evasion. So it's a good thing that the government has now introduced that to the UAE, which makes sure that UAE is now still continues to be safe and compliant jurisdiction, a compliant jurisdiction to set up your business within.
Yeah. So it's a case of documentation again. That's because I told you, like I mentioned, it's a case of a level playing field. You know what I mean? So because that regulation already exists for a long time in the North American market. So what the UAE has done is sort of implemented that in order to level playing field out. Yeah.
And speaking of level playing field, if we go back into small businesses, are you able to ensure that small businesses will have the same type of banking services as, say, like a big conglomerate?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. So depending on the client's requirements, there are two kinds of bank accounts as well. There's the traditional and then the digital bank account. So depending on what the client requires and the amount of money coming in, we can suggest. We have experts on our team, in-house banking team, who, like Sahil mentioned, will do a pre-check and give like proper timelines and ensure it's done smoothly.
And is it all done manually, or are you kind of looking at tech to improve this and make it a little bit more efficient?
So we streamlined a lot of our back-end processing in terms of paperwork, because obviously that's the biggest hassle when it comes to a small business owner or even a large conglomerate, right? Because for a small business owner, they're more focused on getting their business up and running. And when you go into a large conglomerate, you're talking about people who have, let's say, a board of directors. There's a long list of stakeholders that may be involved in getting papers signed off, documentation done. So what we do is we make sure that as soon as the business is set up, all the documentation comes to us at one part. And then from that point on, we just let the client take care of their business and let us take care of the sort of paperwork and that side of things. So that's where tech has come into play. And we've established a lot of, back-end AI processes to figure that out. Yeah.
And are there any future trends in banking that you guys would be able to speak on now that maybe future business owners would need to be aware of?
I mean, in terms of future trends, obviously we're looking at, in the UAE, we're looking at tax being, implemented pretty widespread, and that may impact, or I mean, I'm pretty sure it will impact to a certain degree, but then banking in itself has become so secure in the UAE at this moment, where you can, transfer of funds can be done within the span of 6 hours, and we're talking not just hundreds, we're talking thousands of dollars that can be sent over, like that. So in terms of that sort of being built over, I feel like it's just a case of, optimization of processes, and AI being, a huge sort of development factor in most business. It has to impact banking as well. Sure. As an assumption, yes.
We last week on the show we spoke about how Decisive Zone was in the States, and today you mentioned Azerbaijan. Are you guys, if you're international, what type of global trends do you see that you're bringing to the UAE market?
As you still know, UAE is the third least taxed country in the world, so that still remains
Is
one
it?
of
Interesting. I'm not surprised,
Yeah.
but it's an interesting stat. Okay.
So that is always one of the reasons because the people want to move here because in other countries the tax go about like 25% or more. So they can take advantage and there's a certain threshold that you even cross. If you don't cross the threshold, you're paying 0%. So that is one of the reasons I see a lot of people internationally looking to set up a business here. And
so yeah, that has impacted relocation to a large percentage of it. I mean, you can't contribute a lot of the relocation that's being done here due to that. I mean, obviously, like we mentioned last week, safety, right? Like, key. So yeah, I mean, there's a lot of other factors that are going into it. I mean, you know, ease of money movement, ease of doing business, because now Dubai has become the link between the West and the East, essentially, right? So it's moving towards that direction. So there is a lot of business being flooded in, and us trying to work on and you know constantly trying to move into a sort of global market form. And still holding our sort of traditional core values at the center sort of helps us draw that kind of business in and then, you know, find the best solution for them. Yeah.
Every week we sit here and my understanding continues to evolve, but what I see is what Decisive does is make it hassle-free for business setup and visa setup in the UAE, which I think is amazing. Yeah. But if people would like more information on that, if you've just joined the show now, how can they get in touch with you to find out more?
You can always go onto our website. There's a direct line. Just get in touch with any of us, and or just Google Decisive Zone. We're top. No worries. We're always there.
Guys, thank you so much for your time this morning.
Thank you so much for having us.
Really appreciated you coming in on this beautiful Tuesday morning. We'll be back with you tomorrow morning, same time, same place. Have a brilliant day. Bye-bye. Cool. Where is Decisive Zone based? It's been business day, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, because she mentioned the last day.
Wow, really?
Well,
After 3 weeks,
I
that's
knew
the
it was
first
business
question?
day.
Oh.
I was just trying to remember because I was like, where would you go back now? And are you full time in there, or is it like 5 days a week, or do you have remote working?
Full time in there.
Yeah.
I think it's a UAE thing.
Yeah.
It's not just that.